Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in the world. We seem to have had an easier start today without the usual breakdown that we always have in the beginning. We always have a technical issue when we start, don't we? So let me just open the chat here, see how many of you are here. Oh, yes, hello there. I see a few of you there. Cole, hello, Cole. James, Nash. Is that you, Lee? Lee Nash, 007 Nash. Yeah, that's you, Lee. Camara, hello. Cool. How are you all? I hope you're all well. Let's give you a few more minutes to all wake up or do whatever you're doing. I don't know if this is an awkward time to do a live stream. It's the local time here in Northern Europe is 5 o'clock. So that's 3 o'clock in the UK. And I think some of the Americans will be waking up now. So I don't really know when it is a good time to do live streams. I've been doing them on Saturdays now. And thank you, Cole. That was going to be my question. You're saying video and audio are great this time. I think we finally got it right. I think we finally cracked it. I do want to make live. I have mentioned before that I want to do a little bit more with live streams and now on. And I think I like the idea of a Saturday live stream. It's very difficult to sort of find the right time of day. Because leave your comments. What is a good time for you? I find 5 o'clock, this being 5 o'clock in my local time here in Estonia. As I say, that's about 3 o'clock in the UK, and it's sort of early morning in sort of Western America, the west coast of America and stuff. So, there's no perfect time. The great thing is, if you can't catch the live stream, you can always, it always goes up onto YouTube and you can catch the recording afterwards. But we'll give you a few more minutes to get on. As I say, I think you'll hopefully notice the live stream is going to get a little bit better now. I'm finding my way around them a bit better. And, live streams are very different to recorded content. I've got some good news for you guys today, just to fill you in as to what's happening. And we'll also run through some of the things that are up and coming, some videos that I'm busy working on, some things like that. I'm also going to update you on the latest shows we did and the up and coming shows. And then I'll take some questions from you guys afterwards. Oh, bless you, Cole. Thank you, brother. You just bought me a pint. Thank you. Thank you, Cole. That's £5. £5 is about €6. So that thanks to the exchange rate, I really appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much. I shall. Shall we? I'll tell you what. When I go out, I will take a photo of myself having that drink. How's that? Is that fair? Fair enough. Right. Quickly check the chat here. I'm glad to see everything sounding good, and I can't help the way it looks, but I'll try my best. M. Stimson, hello. It's 10 a.m. from the place outside. That you say it's 10 a.m. from the place of the outsiders takes place. Oh, with them. Oh, I see. Oh, 10 a.m. Okay. Cheers, Cole. And Cole, I must say, actually, there was an offer for me to do a piano show in December in Dublin. I know you're in Ireland, and they wanted me to do it a day before my Prague show, and it's a little bit brutal to do, one show and then a day after. If it was a mesh show, I could probably do it. It's just that these piano shows, they take a lot more concentration, and that's not to say I'm not concentrating when I'm doing a mesh show. It's just that, it's just when you're doing the piano shows, there's no room for error. They are quite. I love doing them. They are quite intense. So we are going to come to Ireland, definitely. Thought I'd let you know because you've always asked me. James says, "Have you had a pint of German beer Keller yet?" Keller, I can't say I've tried that yet, but I'm always happy to try new things. Try everything twice. Once to make sure that it doesn't once to make sure that it doesn't hurt you, and the second time to make sure you don't, if you like it or not. I think that was the saying. Camara says it is, just past 4 o'clock in Hungary. Yes, Hungary is another one we're coming to visit soon. Coming to your town soon. Well, eventually, I promise. Okay, so let's jump into it. I don't want this live stream to be too long. As I say, I've done the 4-hour live streams before. I've done the streams where I've started off going, this won't be too long, and then 4 hours later, I think where the beers open, and it was a lot of fun. So we'll try and be a little bit more on point, shall we? Okay, so you just got some of a few glitches here. My goal is to eventually get these live streams slick, like the proper YouTubers when they do everything really, really slick. They usually have a team, but hey man, we're doing it all ourselves here. So right, so we'll get started now. I hope you're all well, and I don't know where this thing's coming down. Go down, you. You're not supposed to be there. It's a sneak preview of something I'm supposed to show you. Let's start off with what's just happened recently with Mesh. We've just come back from Etropolis Festival in Germany, and we did the festival at Etropolis in Oberhausen, and it was sold out. It was an amazing show. Mesh were the headline act, and there we go. We've got the poster on the screen there, which is just blocking me. Hello, I'm behind the poster. Hello. And there you can see there were the bands Tension Control, Alienaire, Empathy Test, Chrome, Rotor Sand, ELM, Solar Flake, Aesthetic Perfection. Air was a lot of fun, and it was an absolute blast. And for Mesh to be headlining this festival was certainly for me a dream come true, to play in front of an audience that size. And we'll just run through a few photos here. This taken by, there we go, darkfestivals.de. I always try to credit the photographers when I can. Stage was a really big stage, and what was really great about the end of this show, the grand finale, was quite emotional because all the bands that performed on the day came out. Now Mesh, we did our sound check at 11 o'clock in the morning, and we only went on stage at 11:30 at night. So you can imagine it's an early start, and you're just really killing time. You're just hanging around hotels and stuff all day. But getting to the venue, setting up, and then we're well treated. We have our dressing room and all that kind of stuff. But it is killing a lot of time. And what was so special about this show was, right at the end, when we finished when we're doing our last song, all the other bands came on, and in this photo there you can see. Shout out to Isaac from Empathy Test. Bless Isaac. I had a long chat with him in the dressing room, early in the day. I remember him arriving there. He's a very handsome man, Isaac. Bless him. But he just was exhausted. I think he hadn't slept, so he was a little bit zombified. But he gave a great performance that night, Empathy Test. And at the end of the show, when Mesh, when we did our last song, all the bands came on and they all sang sort of in unison to our last song. And Isaac, there he is on the photo there. He sort of took the lead and sort of led the crowd. So lots of love to Isaac. Good to see him. And as I say, I remember interviewing Empathy Test about 5-6 years ago, and I'm very proud to see how well he's doing, how far he's come. Yeah, and there's another photo. This was at the end. You can see me sort of on the right there, the back right, and then next to me on my right there is Mark, and you can see there's Richard there. But this was great. This was right at the end for all the bands to come out and sort of sing along with us. That was really great. It was really, really emotional, and really loved it. So just a few more. I love this photo, by the way. There's Rich looking like a rock star there. And there's our drummer, the drum maniac, as we call him, the drum maniac, Sean. He's one hell of a drummer, one hell of a nice guy. Such a good man. Great photo there. This is the interesting thing was the green lights here. So I'm assuming that was probably the song "I Fall Over." It's interesting. Our lighting engineer is a guy called Pete. He's a South African as well, and he's been doing the lighting for Mesh for over 25 years. And he always gives. He's the reason why Mesh, why our lights look so great. And he gives each song its own theme. So each song has its own color set. And when I'm looking at this green, I'm thinking this was probably taken during our opening song, which is "I Fall Over." So yeah, not many photos there. Just wanted to share a few there, but it was a lot of fun. And I'll come out from behind the photo. Hello. It was a blast. It was really, really good. As I say, the touring's a lot of fun. It's stressful to a point, because you want to do it right, and you want to do it proper, and it is a lot of. As I was talking to Isaac from Empathy Test in the dressing room, he was also just saying, I think Empathy Test, I think their set was, I don't know how long his set was. I think it was about maybe 50 minutes or an hour. But Isaac was also saying, if when you look out, to be doing this, it's such a privilege. But people also don't realize that it's, it's so much hanging around, and it's like you can. It's so much sort of like dead time, hotels and airports and just waiting, just for that hour on stage. And it's still a privilege to do it, but it's a lot of time, and it's hard work. it's hard work, but I'm not complaining. Absolutely love it, and the adrenaline does carry you through. Because I know with us, when we got there, we got to the airport on the night before. We got to the hotel very late, and we had to go to bed. And then, so we woke up not having much sleep, because we had to be at the venue early to do the sound check. And then, doing the sound check at 11 o'clock in the morning, and then you've got to kill time till 11:30 at night. But of course, when you go on, the adrenaline kicks in. And then you come off stage, and a few beers and drinks backstage, and then you go home, and then you're in bed by maybe 4 o'clock, and then you've got to wake up at 6 o'clock to get a flight back. Rock and roll, man. Rock and roll. Right, so that was the Etropolis Festival. Just some inside news as well. Actually, I'm just glad I caught this here. See, my computer's not plugged in. The power. Make sure the power didn't go. Everything's been running so smoothly. There we go. Sorry. Whew, plugged in just before. Where was I? Where was I? What are we talking about? Talking about the anyway, yeah, okay. So that was. Oh yes, this is what I was saying. I won't go into too much information here now, but I did see. I did have a glimpse of the shows for the Mesh schedule next year, and it's brutal. It's a lot of shows next year, so that's all I'm going to say for now. Don't ask me which countries and stuff, but the idea is to branch out and try and do other areas that we've not played before. But yeah, there's a lot of shows coming up next year. Okay, let me just come back to the chat and see if you're all still there. Yeah, you're all still there. How's it going, guys? Please leave your comments, and I'll take some questions in a while. Okay, so that was Mesh, and then the thumbnail that I had at the beginning of the stream here. There we go. This is the Interpretations piano show. I've had 3 successful ones. The first one was in Tallinn. We then did one in Oberhausen, and we did a really, really, really great one in London on February the 15th. Really, really great. And I'm pleased to say that we have now got these 4 shows booked, albeit right at the end of the year. It's something to look forward to. I've never been to these countries, Czech Republic, Slovakia, and I'm sure we're going to have. I've no doubt we're going to add more to this list. But for now, we have Ostrava, December the 12th, at the Facility of Fine Arts and Music. Then Bratislava on the 13th of December. And that's at the, I'm not going to try and pronounce that. How do you say that? Mojesowa Sien. Then there's Prague. That's the 19th of December at St. Michael's Church in, how do you pronounce that? Jurarish. And then Liberec. There we go. Last time I said Liberec. It's Liberec, I believe. Liberec Cultural Center, Vratislavic. Yeah. I will stop right there. But there we go. Those 4 shows now being booked. Tickets on sale now for those shows. And the interpretations shows have been very well received. So looking forward to bringing some more to a town near you. Okay. So, as you guys know, if you've been paying attention, I've moved into a new premises now. I'm in a commercial premises now, so I guess I have to work harder to pay for it. But I want to fill you in as to what's coming up content-wise. I've been doing that Depeche Mode album review series, which did grind to a halt. Long story, but we're back on track, and I'm pleased to say that the latest episode, Judas. Okay, not the Lady Gaga Judas. Is simplicity best, or simply the easiest? This part 7 for Judas. This will be out tomorrow on my YouTube channel. That's the usual, the continuation with the album review series, talk about the songs, breaking it down, the chords and everything. And you will also be able to find the full version on watchvg.com. Now, the reason for that is, as you guys know, WatchVG is just like a place where you can find my content in sort of like long form. YouTube doesn't allow sort of certain things, like sometimes you can't play like the original music in the background, and because it means that they will not monetize the music, or they won't monetize the video. Or that's not the worst case. Sometimes you put the video up, and if there's music in the background, they'll just block the video. So that's really annoying. It's one of the drawbacks of YouTube. Although YouTube is the great place it's the place where people can find your stuff. So anyway, we've got the stuff on watchvg.com for those of you who want to, support what I do and see the stuff in more depth and without interruptions of adverts and stuff like that as well. Now I want to show you some up and coming stuff here. So leave your comments here. These are my new design thumbnails. I think I may have cracked it. Yeah, I think my thumbnails were terrible in the beginning. I mean, they just weren't good. But I mean, even if you look at the thumbnail that size now, it really pops. That's the thing with a thumbnail. You need it to really pop, and you need it to be like straightforward, I think. So leave your comments, what you think. Anyway, this episode here that you see here, this will come up next Wednesday, and this is a new thing I'm bringing out on the channel now. This is what I call the song analysis series, but they're about probably 10-15 minute videos. I try to keep them as short as possible, and it's really just an analysis on one song at a time. So check out this one coming out on Wednesday, and then I'll quickly give you a brief preview of some of the other songs. Yes, we are doing a breakdown of Lamal's Never-Ending Story. Never-Ending Story. And yes, I will be wearing the Lamal wig when I do that. It has to be done. And you can see, there we go on the thumbnail. I don't kind of have the fringe and everything. But anyway, I'm going to be paying homage to Lamal on this episode by doing the song analysis of Never-Ending Story. And I couldn't believe the song's now. It's 40 years old. This song is, it's 41 years old this year. So I should have released it. It was 40 years last year. So I should have released it last year. But the whole idea now is just to give you guys an idea of some of the up-and-coming stuff. Here's another one. Pet Shop Boys. Hi, we're the Pet Shop Boys. Sometimes you're better off dead. This gun in your hand is upon your head. And I was downtown in a dead and wild. Oh God, there we go. I've just ruined my chances of interviewing the Pet Shop Boys. Yeah, so that's It's a Sin. There's a song analysis video coming up as well. And Kate Bush, Wuthering Heights. So as you can see, I'm throwing the net a little bit wider now. And, just for the interest of myself and for you guys. So there's a bit of a shake-up on the channel. Even, here's one, Morton Harkett, brother, even doing some of the solo work of certain artists. Morton Harkett, obviously the lead singer of a-ha. He did this song called Brother, which really resonated with me. Released it a few years ago, and I really love it, so I thought I'd do a song analysis. And another one we're doing is Kim Wilde's Cambodia song analysis. So, as you can see, oh yes, and another one, Lou Reed's Perfect Day. Just a perfect day. I mean, let's come back to basics. This channel was always piano, keyboards, and synthesizers. So, piano and keyboard artists. So, and you're probably asking, what about the Depeche Mode content? Well, don't worry, there will always be a special place for Depeche Mode on this channel. For those of you who are not aware, a lot of you do know, is I started a separate YouTube channel, and that is called Depeche Mode Hub. Straightforward, Depeche Mode Hub. So if you just go onto YouTube and just type in Depeche Mode Hub, and you will see I have a separate YouTube channel for that. Now, on this main channel, my Vaughn George channel, we will, of course, still feature Depeche Mode, like the album review series will still go on there. But then eventually we're going to move everything onto the Depeche Mode Hub YouTube channel. Wow, Depeche Mode are so important, they get their own YouTube channel. And it's just that, I think, because a lot of people who find my YouTube channel, this channel you're watching now, the Vaughn George YouTube channel, a lot of people, when they find it, they go, oh, this is a Depeche Mode channel. And it kind of is, but I never intended it to be that. So I just figured, yeah, we're still going to do Depeche Mode videos on here, but the bulk of that content is going to go onto the Depeche Mode Hub. So please go over to that YouTube channel. Here's your call to action, Depeche Mode Hub, and subscribe there. You'll find all the Depeche Mode content there. That is a great channel if you just want Depeche Mode, and I have some interesting videos coming up there, which are just like shorts. I also want to I'm also experimenting with easier videos, because as much as I love the album review series, it's very taxing on my soul because they're long episodes and they take a lot of editing and everything. And it's a long story, but that is going ahead. But the Depeche Mode Hub YouTube channel, once again, I've got some videos coming on there which you guys are going to enjoy. For example, there was a recent interview where Martin Gore was being interviewed by one of his schoolmates. And so what I'll do is, on that Depeche Mode Hub YouTube channel, I'll have that playing, and I'll kind of do a reaction to that. So I'm going to do a lot of reaction videos on that Depeche Mode Hub channel, and little shorts. Also interesting, there's a lot of video footage online, taken by Depeche Mode fans from the shows. And for instance, there are a few videos where fans have filmed shows where things went wrong, like they'd start Personal Jesus and there'd be a breakdown and they'd have to start again. And then I just want to do reaction videos to those where I can kind of talk through it and give my 2 cents worth as to what I thought happened and things like that. There was an interesting one the other day I saw. There was I think probably as far back as 2013, I think, they started Everything Counts, and they had to restart it because I think Martin made a mistake. It's got that dun, 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 dun. Martin does that dun, 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 dun. But he came in 4 bars too early, so that threw Dave. And anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, on the Depeche Mode Hub YouTube channel, I will be doing little videos like that. It'll be a lot of fun. Just I'll bring the fun back into to this channel. I remember I don't watch my older content. I did pull up one of my videos recently and I went, oh my God, look how young I looked. Oh my God, I've aged. Stress. But I laugh at those videos because they were just so much like turn the camera on and talk. You know, I didn't overthink it too much. And anyway, I'm not one. I've never been one to take myself seriously. Whoa. So this tabletop just rocked. I need to bolt it down. Yeah, it looks probably quite slick from what you're seeing, maybe, but you can't see behind the scenes. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that still needs to be screwed down and bolted down. So do not lean on this table. Anyway, so yeah, Depeche Mode Hub YouTube channel. Go there and you will subscribe. I think there's about 4,000 subscribers there now. But please, if you're a follower of my work and you're only following me for Depeche Mode stuff, then hopefully you're following me for all my stuff. But if you see me as that annoying guy that you only follow for Depeche Mode stuff, then by all means, please go sign up at the Depeche Mode Hub YouTube channel. Okay, a few more things here. Just keep an eye on you. Make sure you're going. How are we doing there? Fabrico C says, I would love to see you live because you only play songs from a certain era, an era when Depeche Mode was not a cover band. Oh, yeah, we'll talk more about that just now. The interpretation shows I've done were very, very well received, and these weren't negative comments, but there were comments made like, oh, everything is sort of, there's nothing from the last 20 years, and that's not really something I really thought about. I just sort of, I sort of sit down. If I sit down at a piano and I go, okay, I'm going to do Depeche Mode songs, I sort of like do the ones that come to my head, and I do my favorite ones, and those just happen to be sort of the ones from, I don't know, 84 up to 93. But anyway, you can't please everyone, but I think a lot of people did like the set list, because I agree. I think there was a golden age of Depeche Mode, I think. Okay, let me just get back to my schedule, and I'm going to take some questions from you guys. Now, I don't know. Well, I do know. I do have students, and it's not something I push much on the channel, but I have been, I do coach people and I teach students and stuff, and I have a method of playing piano which I have given a name. I call it the layman's keyboard method. The reason I call it that is it's layman's, it's straightforward, and I mean, I think those of you who follow me from the beginning know that I'm self-taught. I've never studied music, and so this is how I teach people. I teach people to play keyboards and piano the way I taught myself. Now, I think a lot of the conventional school of thought would have wouldn't have a problem with it. They probably look at the way I'm doing it and going, oh, that's not really the way you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to learn the scales and the chords and the names and the inversions. I don't do that. I kind of teach you how to play, and then we learn the theory afterwards. But anyway, this is something I've putting together now, which is really based on all the years I've done of teaching one-on-ones with my students. It's called the Layman's Keyboard Method, and it's a program, of course, that's going to come out. And I don't want to be one of these every YouTuber's selling courses these days. What are you doing, Vaughn? Yes, I know, that's how we make our living. But anyway, I'm not going to ram it down your throats. It's just there if you want it. But for those who want to learn keyboards and stuff like that, this is in the process of being put together. And you can send me a message if you've got any questions on it, or if you have any interest, just drop me a line, and I will be glad to tell you a little bit more about it. So it really was the reason I'm putting that together is it's basically because not my one-on-one classes can be quite expensive, and not everyone can afford it. So I just wanted to make something that's more accessible to the masses, I guess. And so anyway, that's going ahead. Keep an eye on that. And then just while we're on the promotional stuff here, we do have the Mode, the memorial pressing of my dear friend, the late Brian Griffin. And we still have those available at vaughngeorge.com. If you don't have one yet, you be sure to grab yourself a copy, or not, but they are there if you want them. And yeah, we did the second pressing because by popular demand. Anyway, so that's really everything that I wanted to cover today. I think in the next live streams, I want to sort of do like a sort of a news thing where it's like where we talk about, things that are relevant to our industry. For instance, I know like Andy Bell from Erasure is now doing like a solo tour and things like that. I sent Gary Newman an email again the other day, just asked if he'd be up for another interview. We'll just see. We have been meaning to do another interview again. I want to pick his brains on AI now. It's interesting because on the subject of Gary Newman, he's just re-released that Berserker album. It's re-released. And the interesting thing, if you look at that sort of period of Gary Newman, he was very sort of influenced by Blade Runner and that kind of, and a lot of his music is all about living in a post-apocalyptic world where computers and machines have taken over and they're trying to wipe us out. And so I do love that period of Gary Newman's music. So the interesting thing is, the point I'm trying to make is that the way the world is going now, it's almost like that's all happening. So I really want to speak to him about this and just see how he feels about this whole AI world and everything. And it's there's no escaping it, I guess. Anyway, let's take a few questions. There's a few comments. Okay, I'll just scroll back up to the top here. James says Beer House, Talon Town Centre, recommended. I shall give it a try. It's not far from here. Cole says, why is Nothing to Fear not on your piano set list? It's better than the original. Oh, careful. Thank you, Cole. The set list will change, and it might be at. So I mean, I put it to you this way: when I come to Dublin, when I come to Ireland, I don't know where about in Ireland you are, Cole, but I will definitely put that on. It's quite difficult because, when you do the piano sets, I think when I did the last one, I think I did 23 songs. And when I was setting up in the day, this sounds like a names drop, but it's not. It's true. Gareth Jones came in. And that sounds like a names drop, but it's not meant to be. But he did. He came in. He just came in to say hello. He wasn't going to be able to make the show, but he wanted to come and say hello during the sound check. And then he was asking me, how many songs are you doing? 7, 8, 9, 10? And I went, 23. And he went, what? 23 songs on a piano. So I don't know. I don't know how long a piece of string is. I know like when I do shows with mesh and stuff, we typically do depending on the set list, we do sometimes 18, 22, 23 songs. So I think this time when I did the last piano show, I did 22 songs. And according to Gareth, that's quite ballsy to do that many songs on a piano. I don't know. It's just, I did 22 songs, and I still had a voice left afterwards and everything. So yes, Cole, Nothing to Fear. I shall dedicate that to you when I see you, brother. Lee Nash says, looking forward to Kate Bush. Yes, Wuthering Heights. What a song. I will break that down and do a rendition of Wuthering Heights for you. I'm not going to sing it. No, my voice is too deep. I cannot sing that high. But I suppose I could do a male interpretation, but no. I shall just do that one instrumentally for you. M. Stimson says, I can't wait to see the song analysis, including the Aha. Yeah, I should probably do more Aha stuff. Yeah. Dalida says, OMD, Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark. They're coming to France. Yeah, I should do some OMD analysis videos as well. Great songs. I believe OMD is retiring this year. Is that right? Cole says, layman's keyboard method. Sign me up. Brilliant, Cole. Yeah, I shall let you guys know. I bet some people have had some good sort of breakthroughs with that. I sort of demystify piano playing because it's a lot of people sort of watch you when they play the piano and they think it's like magical and they're like, wow. And I'm like, it's not that difficult. I'm going to show you I'll show you some tricks up my sleeve, and it still takes work and stuff, but it's not as, I demystify it. It's not as hard as people think it is. Nick says, Mr. George, I'm just curious, is English your first language? Well, my dear boy, listen to how articulate I am. Of course it is my first language, yes. Yes, English is my first language. I was born in South Africa, and there is, I believe there are 11 languages in South Africa. But I spoke English, and I lived in an Afrikaans town where Afrikaans is like a language which is like derived from Dutch and Flemish. It's more Flemish, really. So I can speak Afrikaans. I can speak it fluently. And because I can speak Afrikaans, I can also, therefore, I can speak to Flemish people. Vlaams, yeah, virtually the same. And it also means because of Afrikaans, I can understand Dutch very well. I can't really speak Dutch, but I can understand it. And it also helps because it's a Germanic language. It also means that German is quite easy for me to understand when we're on tour with Mesh. Sean, Richard, and Mark, typical Englishmen, only speak one language. Ha ha. Me, I sit in the dressing room, and those Germans are like blah, 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 and I'm listening, and I'm like, ah. And then I sometimes say, you said this, and they're like, how do you know this? I said, das ist gut, ja. I can understand a bit of German, thanks to Afrikaans. But now, speaking about languages, I'm busy trying to learn Estonian, and that is just like trying to learn Chinese. It's very difficult language. Nick says, thank you. You're welcome, Nick, for answering your question. Camara says, have you heard about Hungarian band called Bononza Bonsai? They're a bit like, no, I haven't, but now I've heard of them. I shall check them out. Thank you. Cole says, bands should know when to retire before they humiliate themselves. I don't think I'll ever go see New Order again. Oh, tell us more, Cole. What happened? Did you go to a shitty New Order show? Yeah, it's interesting. I was talking to a friend once about this. We're talking about, I think we're having drinks, and we're talking about this. When do you stop? And it's interesting. And in that conversation, this friend said, okay, this is a bit cynical, and we don't mean anything nasty in this, but he actually said, for instance, like Dave Gahan. Dave Gahan died in 1997. His heart stopped. He was dead for 2 minutes, and then he came back to life. And it's true what this friend of mine said. He said if Dave Gahan had died in 1997, he would have been immortalized, meaning the only Dave we would remember would be the Dave from Devotional Time. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you look at like artists like Phil Collins, it's very sad to see how I think when he, and I'm not taking the piss. I'm being deadly sincere now when I say, when I believe they wheeled him onto the stage with a wheelchair. Is that true? And he was sitting down, and that is very heartbreaking to see. Even Elton John. I'm a huge Elton John fan. I haven't spoken much about him on this channel, but I will. I'm a huge Elton John fan, and it is very sad to see. It's a cynical subject, but age isn't good on. The years aren't good to most of us, and I know Elton John had to cancel a recent show. I don't know where it was, because he said, I can't see the keyboard. I can't see the keyboard. He was just, and then that is sad. And so we now see our rock stars, artists, we see them kind of aging. But then if you see these rock stars, and that you've heard of Club 27. Club 27 is a term used for some of the greatest rock stars who died at the age of 27. Jimi Hendrix, Amy Winehouse, Kurt Cobain, Jim Morrison. They all, and there's a there's a long list. A lot of them died at the age of 27. The point I'm trying to make is when they die young, that is, they kind of end on a high, and that is all you remember. But the other side is if they live longer, you kind of see them fade away, and that don't get me wrong, it's very sad when someone dies that young, but it's also sad to sometimes see people fading away. And that's interesting. In that conversation, we also talked about, like, ABBA, for instance. ABBA were, I'm a huge ABBA fan. Come on, who isn't? And if you look at ABBA, I saw an interview with Benny from ABBA years ago. This must have been about 20 years ago. And he said people were always saying, oh, the comeback. And he said, no, we're done. And that is why when they talked about the ABBA comeback, I love the way they did it with those ABBA shows now with the, with the holograms, the holograms and stuff. It's very, very well done. I've not been to it, but I've only heard great things about it. So that's one way of doing it. Anyway, I'm getting a bit long-winded and maybe a bit deep here, but yeah. It's based on what Cole said. I think, some people need to know when to stop, and who knows. Cole goes on to say, Barney's voice is just shot. No enthusiasm anymore. No album in 10 years. They're just phoning, just stop. It's interesting. Yeah, because, I've said this publicly before, and I'm not being an arsehole by saying this, but Bernard Sumner he's not a great singer. He's a front man of New Order, who are a great band, and I'm not mocking him. I mean, he's not a great singer. A lot of artists that we love are not great singers, but it's not about being a great singer. It's about being sincere. I always find that to me, it's about being sincere in what you do. And there are a lot of singers out there who are great singers, but they just don't resonate with me. But then you get, like, as with my video, I'm bringing I'm going to talk about Lou Reed, for instance. Lou Reed's Perfect Day. I mean, Lou Reed, come on. You could argue he's not a singer. I'm not insulting him. If you listen to the song, Just a Perfect Day, it's a little bit off pitch, and but it's beautiful. Now, you get someone who can sing really beautifully, like, these cabaret singers. That's why it just always sounds soulless. The point I'm trying to make is, it's like, I don't know, it's like prog rock and stuff like that. There is the argument that you can be too good. You can be too good. I don't know. I just I like artists who are sincere. And another one who I'm a big fan of, who I didn't talk about much on the channel, is Joe Jackson. Not Joe Jackson as in Michael Jackson's father, but Joe Jackson. He's also, to me, his voice isn't amazing, but I think he's an amazing artist. To me, he's I've used this term before, a musician that sings. It's like he's not like a natural singer, but he's I'm not saying he's a bad singer, but he's just, his voice is his voice, and I love that. I just love sincerity in artists. That's what I'm always looking for. Okay, you got any more questions? Fire them through, and I'll take them and just see how long the stream's been going. I like to cap it at an hour. So I'm sure you've got other things you want to do. If you've got any questions you want to ask, fire them through now or forever hold your peace. Are we still live, by the way? Let me just make sure. I've been waffling on here, not checking. Yeah, we seem to still be on. Sorry, guys, just excuse me for a second. Yeah, we're still on, are we? Yeah. I'm trying to see the counter. Yeah, I've got my settings changed a little bit differently today, which is a good thing. It means we are logged in without any without any false starts today. Okay, I'm just going to do a refresh here. Okay, great. You know, we seem still to be on. Okay, guys. So if you've got any more questions, I'll take them now. Otherwise, I shall end and let you let you enjoy your afternoon or evening wherever you are. Camilla says, "Have you heard about the Vince Clarke and Paul Quinn project from 1985?" No, I haven't. But for some reason, I feel I should. There's some of these questions that get asked me, and I feel like a moron for not knowing. Should I know that one? Okay, I've taken note of that. I should check that out. And also, as I say, just recapping, tomorrow we've got the Judas Part 7 of the Depeche Mode album review series coming out tomorrow. That's on the YouTube channel, with the extended version on watchvg.com. And as I say, in future, a lot of that stuff will move on to the separate Depeche Mode Depeche Mode YouTube channel, which I've started, which is the Depeche Mode Hub. That actually celebrated its 1-year anniversary a couple of days ago. Woohoo! It's I've got 4,000 subscribers on there. So if you follow me for the Depeche Mode stuff, then please do subscribe there, because that's where I'm going to be doing the bulk of all the Depeche Mode stuff from now on. Cole says there was a Vince Clarke and Paul Hartnell collaboration I missed too somehow. Yeah, there's a lot of these things that I just go past us. Okay, guys, so no more questions. That's fine. I shall leave you to it now. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. I look forward to seeing you on the next video or the next live event. If you have not subscribed to this channel yet, I would ask you to please subscribe. I always hate asking that, because I feel it's so unoriginal. That's all that no matter how original you try to be, that is, as a YouTuber, you have to ask people to subscribe, because that's how the algorithm works. So yeah, keep it real. Thanks as always for your support. Love you loads, and I will see you guys in the next video, live stream, live show, or wherever. Keep it real, keep it cool. I'll see you soon. Adios.